Welcome to Q&A practice. Let's start out with some two voice, get our fingers warmed up. And we will start with defense attorney. Ready? Here we go. At the time of your deposition, I believe you said that you had testified in 2 cases prior to that time as an expert. Is that correct? That is correct. And is that also correct today? In terms of testimony in court, that is correct. One of those was testimony about an oil well rig involving some mechanical failure. That is correct. And the other was a plumbing situation, a missile launcher. Is that correct? Yes, ma'am, that's correct. At the time of your deposition, you had experience at that time or were working on 3 automobile cases. Is that correct? I believe that is correct. How many of those involved single car accidents? None involved single car accidents. 1 involved an auto pedestrian accident. Were you asked to reconstruct the accident? Yes, I was. I believe you said one defense firm had called you in relation to a bus accident. That is correct. You had done no work on it? No, the case hadn't started yet, as far as I was concerned. Doctor, prior to April, had you ever conducted any accident reconstruction tests? Not with respect to cars. Your work had been primarily limited to aircraft and spacecraft and the associated technologies. When your deposition was taken, had you looked at a couple of films that were made at the university in relation to accident reconstruction? At that time, it was not to prepare me to testify in court here. All right. Since March 7, when your deposition was taken, how many hours have you put in on this case? I can't give you an exact number. I don't have my time sheets with me. It must be on the order of 100. All right, now we'll get to our transcript and a little 4 voice practice. We'll start with plaintiff attorney. Ready? So, when you went back inside the store, who was with you? Investigator Rios and Investigator Davis. How long were you? Go ahead. Investigator Rios came in a few seconds later, but right when I entered the store, It was Investigator Davis and myself, but Rios also came in a few seconds after you. Yes, with the decoy. How long did you wait outside the store before you returned? Approximately 2 to 3 minutes. And after you entered the store, did you contact anyone? Yes. Who did you contact? The on-duty manager, Mr. Hamid. And for what purpose did you contact the store manager? I like to let the manager know of the violation. Excuse me. 1, because he's in charge. 2, because she's the sole cashier, the seller, Carla. So there were no other clerks on duty inside the store at that time? Correct. What did you say to the... You said you told him about the violation? Yes. And what was his response? Objection calls for hearsay. Noted. So noted for the record. You may answer. I'm sorry, what? You may answer the question. Okay, what was the question? What was the store manager's response when you notified him of the violation? Same objection, Your Honor. So noted for the record. You can answer. He acknowledged who we were, that there was a violation. Is that what you mean? Because I don't know. Okay. Did you show any type of ID? Yes. Did you identify yourself as a law enforcement officer to that store manager? Yes. I had my department badge displayed and I showed him my flat badge. At some point, did you contact the store clerk? Yes. And what did you say to the store clerk? That I was a police officer with the Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control, and she had sold alcohol to a minor. Was she speaking to you in English or in Spanish? She didn't really say anything at that time. Did she at some point say anything to you? Yes. At what point did she speak? After the manager took over the register from her so we could conduct the investigation. All right, just so that the record is clear, when you spoke to the clerk, you spoke to her in English? Yes. Okay, thanks. And did she respond in English? Yes, minimal to moderate English. Did you Did you receive any assistance in translating? Yes. And who did you use to act as a translator? Investigator Rios. Did he speak Spanish? Yes. He's a department-approved Spanish translator. Did you? Now, using Investigator Rios as an interpreter, did you ask the decoy who sold him the beer? Yes. What was his response? The decoy pointed to Ms. Ramirez and said, "She sold me the beer." Was the decoy facing the store clerk? Yes. Was the store clerk facing the decoy? Yes. Did they make eye contact? Yes. How close were they standing? Approximately 3 feet. Did you make a determination? Were you able to determine, I should say, whether or not the store clerk understood that she was being identified? Objection. Lack of foundation calls for speculation. I can reframe. Yes, I can just re-ask the question. All right, that will conclude our Q&A practice.